Time now for some active weather update. If you're lucky enough to stay home today, or if you're heading out on the roads, this is what you need to know. It's not great right now, and it's not going to improve too much this morning. Have a look at the radar. That snow line all the way up to Muskoka now. Definitely snow-covered streets right across southern Ontario. The rain line is well down past London, and we've stuck Mark Robinson out there in the snow. You've been watching for the last couple of hours, Mark. Has anything caught you by surprise, and what are the temperatures like to start off?
Oh man, that is a really good question. That's two really good questions. Temperatures this morning, when I first got up at about 5 o'clock in the morning, it actually didn't feel that bad. And I was sort of like, oh, okay. It was a big change from when you and I were talking over the last couple of days, how cold it was those mornings. And then of course looked out and saw the snow. That's great, fantastic snow, yay. And then I started driving and realized that, that's heavy, wet snow, kind of difficult to drive on, especially on the side roads, which haven't been fully plowed yet. However, a lot of the main routes, and this is what a lot of people are going to like to hear, a lot of the main routes, like the 401 itself, are actually kind of open, simply because we've had enough cars up and down it, and it's just warm enough to really have the the plows and the salt and everything else they've put down on the roads. You really have a big effect. So the tricky part's going to be getting from home to the actual main routes, and of course, when you're coming home, it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be tricky to get back home off of the main route. So just be prepared for that. Could be a bit of a long commute today, just given the amount of snow falling right across southern Ontario.
Yeah, I've always found that when it's right around the freezing mark and you get the wetter snow, it's easier for cars to actually break that up on the higher trafficked road. So that's a good sign. But yeah, this afternoon we've been talking about the temperatures dropping once the snow moves on through. What are you concerned about this evening as our attention turns to that lake effect?
You know what? There's a couple problems there I'm seeing. One is the fact that everything's going to start to freeze up. So that idea that everything's a little bit slushy, we're going to start to see a bit of freeze, and cars going to have a little bit more trouble. And then, of course, when you're talking about the lake effect snow, it's going to only hit a few people, but we could see those strong winds and whiteout type conditions as the snow squalls begin to make their way through southern Ontario. I mean, it's definitely a southern Ontario specialty when it comes to after the storm, we see another storm.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. It's kind of like pick your poison. Would you rather have the cold without the snow, or would you rather deal with the lake effect? Well, let's see what we're in for the rest of the day. You can see by this afternoon, we're already losing that system snow. So this morning, yes, you're in snow. If you're driving from, let's say, London to Belleville, you're in snow every kilometer of the way. By tomorrow, however, it's going to be different. Those two bands are going to get going, so you might only be interacting with that lake effect once you leave London and maybe when you're passing through Oshawa, or if you're going up to Barrie. Those two localized areas, that's where we could see an easy accumulation of 15 to 20 centimeters, certainly off of Lake Huron. That's where I think someone will likely do 30 centimeters. The good news, it's not a long-lasting event. By the time we get to Thursday night, those are going to start to decay. So anywhere in purple, that's where you're over 15 centimeters, and that will be because of that lake effect. So if you're expecting that 15, 20, 25 centimeters to all fall today, that won't be the case. Just downtown Toronto, Hamilton, that's where you're going to be dealing with all your snow coming over the next, maybe even 18 hours, maybe less than that. Downtown Toronto, you'll get into that snow. It all depends how much warm air comes in off of that big Lake Ontario.